Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 445. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo.
Adam Vale.
How you doing?
And Brett Murdoch.
What up?
All right, this is effectively the full crew because Brian is still on sabbatical, Or what do they call it over a holiday,
Holiday.
I'm on holiday, I am,
No, they do. What do they do after they graduate, but they don't do anything?
What do you mean when they go to uni?
Freeloading?
No, no. They literally they don't go to school. It's like a leap year. I don't know. It's not a leap year, really.
Sloth?
A gap year.
A gap year. They do a gap year over there.
They do stuff like.
But he finished university. He moved. That's his whole
uni.
Thing.
He's just moving. But no, I was talking to somebody at work about this. Both Americans, but we work for a British company. It's like, and that's all this meme, right? It was like perfect. It's like when a British person goes on vacation, they send an email to the company, right? I'm going on holiday. I'll see y'all next week, right? That's it. American would be like, I'm getting my spleen taken out. I'm in the hospital right now, but I'm gonna keep Slack open, and I'll be with you when I can. I may be slow to respond.
I'll check my texts.
Yeah, and one of the other girls, she used to work in England. Now she came over here. It's like over there at 5, everybody dipped. Like 5 o'clock, they're gone. Meanwhile, my office, I'm 6 o'clock, motherfuckers are still there. It's interesting. Lazy fucking Brits.
Damn. You know what?
Work, motherfuckers, like we do.
No, because they realize all they have to do is fake an English accent, American English accent, and they become big stars in Hollywood. That's how it works.
Yeah. I remember this one skit from Family Guy, Ben Affleck, he was just chilling watching TV, and then he gets a call, oh, we need you to play King Lear. He's like, oi, there it is, got it. And then he dips. Oh, man. By the way, and thank you for telling me, Carlos, that she's Australian. Adam, I understand your feeling now, man. When I heard Margot Robbie talk, I've never heard her talk before. It's like, what the fuck? I'm Margot Robbie, I am. I'm like, what the fuck?
I swear, every time that happens, I wish I could downvote live video, just a picture,
Henry Cavill downvote.
Exactly. Everything. Just stop, all of you. What, Spider-Man? How dare you can't get a guy from Queens? You gotta outsource this shit too.
Yeah, right. Oh man. Anyway, man, we are back with another one. Throwdown. This was a slow week, which is good because we've had too many crazy weeks with all this Activision nonsense. Even though we do have one story about acquisitions, it's not about that one, so I'm happy about that.
We should all be happy. We just dodged a bullet.
Yeah, but it's still not over yet, though. Speaking about the Brits, they still gotta do their thing, don't they, Adam?
Oh no, that's done. That's done. That is definitely done. Because what happened was, so the CMA, just to get this up, the CMA already, they backed down. They were like, yeah, we're cool. We just got to redo all the documents now. We're not griping anymore. So then the UK government's like, all right, fine. So we got to start this whole process. It takes time. So now they're just doing the legal standard paperwork. That's the reason why they moved it to October. They don't expect it to go to October. It's supposed to end sometime in August. But they're giving that window to October. But yeah, it's done. No one's arguing. The FTC already said they're not getting involved anymore. They're done. So it's just paperwork. And usually paperwork takes a while. And they could have closed right away because they just, once they won here in the States, and it is an American company, they could have just closed it up. But no, they want to make it seem like they're on the up and up. And like, hey, we're going to wait for the UK guys. Don't worry. They got paper trails. They got paper stuff. They don't got computers. No problem. We will be here with pencils. And that's it. So it's dragging around, but it's there's no blockage anymore. That's it. It's just the paper shit.
All right,
it's fine.
Yeah, it's done. Good. It's done. All right. So let's start with some news here. The PlayStation 5 has sold 40 million units. Pretty
that's
crazy. That's with even with all the supply chain shit happening. This generation. It's still sold a lot. Which is pretty nuts.
Does it say if it's the digital or it doesn't, right?
No, it just says 40 million. That's it. They don't break it down.
Has anybody? I mean, because I got mine, through the internets, and that one was a digital one. Has anyone seen a digital one in a while? Like, have they gone to a Best Buy or something? Because I always heard that it was just the physicals that were on retail.
No, I've never seen a PlayStation 5 period in the wild.
Whoa.
But I don't go to Best Buy and shit like that, so that's why.
That would do it too.
Yeah. I just thought about it. Like, outside of like restaurants and shit, I don't go to like shopping stores. I got Amazon,
Yeah, but
Wait, seriously? You just not go to shopping stores?
no,
You live next to Second
you
City.
mean like a supermarket? No, I Instacart.
I mean, I rarely leave the house too, but I've seen PlayStations in the stores like
Yeah.
ton.
Well, which stores did you see them at?
Target mostly.
Oh, I don't even remember the last time I've been at
There is.
Target.
I think
I've seen them at
Target.
Target.
Plaza Mall. I think that's the only Target that I've seen out in that area, right?
I've seen them at Best Buy the last couple of weeks ago.
Bestie Buy.
Yeah. So have you seen digital ones?
Oh, the digital ones. No.
See, that's what I was wondering, because I always hear people whenever I see these, they're like, man, if only I could get a digital one. And it's like, well,
digital.
I guess that's the only one you can't get.
I tried to get the digital, but couldn't do it.
I mean, I want to say Target just recently I saw 2 SKUs in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, they're out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, PlayStation's selling, man. Good stuff.
It's about to be a 40 million plus one when Manny buys it in a couple of months.
He's going to get that Spider-Man edition.
I mean, it comes with the game, doesn't it? Right?
Yes.
It comes with the actual game. It comes with a game. It doesn't come with a code, right?
It's not going to be.
I don't know about that.
Code. Some games don't even come with the code or a game.
Yeah. What's happened, Brett?
I said it will come with a code for a game eventually.
Yes.
You don't get the game when you buy it. That's just silly talk.
There was remember the Forza one? It gave you a jacket. It gave you all kinds of shit. No game, not even a code.
Yep. I would tell you, they've been doing this shit for years, man.
Yeah, they were like, no, you got that's separate.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I kind of understand the idea, the premise behind it.
I think it's dumb, by the way.
That's a double dip. Come on now. You're only buying all this Chachi shit because you want the game.
Yep.
Really? I mean, if that's the case, don't buy the collector's edition. Just buy the game.
No, you want all the goodies. You want the whole experience.
Okay, then buy the goodies and the game. Like, why? What's
Game
the problem having them
Just include it. Just keep it included because it's not a full package. Like, for example, I still have my Alan Wake, right? Remember that one that looked like a book? And I got that because it looked cool because it looked like a book you could fool people. Now, what if I opened that shit and there was no game or code or anything? I said, but hey, you got this cool looking Alan Wake book. Now go buy the fucking game. Go be somebody. No, that's not fair. I want everything.
I mean, I get that, but like, that's like being like, the McDonald's near my house, they stopped selling combo meals. Like, well, can you still buy a burger and still buy fries? Yeah. Well, then you can still get the same thing. They're just selling it in 2 pieces instead of 1. Now, the problem here really becomes, in my opinion,
This
if
is
they're
more
still
like
charging the full amount.
This is more like buying a Happy Meal and there not being a fucking toy inside of it.
But you can also buy the toy separately. Again,
No, you can't.
You can buy toys separately.
but in this instance, you can buy the game separately.
Yeah,
so
you
like,
can buy the
like,
game separately, but why would you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to get them both together?
Yeah, what's the harm in it? Because we've seen others do it, and they give you everything. The Titanfall, remember they gave that crazy helmet? It was like this crazy limited edition helmet, and you also got the game. It could be done.
It's like, well, if you're buying a collector's edition, if you're going out to buy the art book, if you're just going to buy, if they're going to go piecemeal all the bullshit that goes inside of one of those collector's edition, you just might as well buy the off the shelf market book art book, because the art book on off the shelf is usually better than the one that comes with the damn game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'm saying, like, in this situation, it's like, if they're selling you what is considered a collector's edition, they should never call it a collector's edition. They should just call it collector's items or statue.
Yeah,
because that's all it is. But this is a lot of this is just the assumption. They call it collector's edition, but there's no edition. There's no game.
It just feels like, I know you're wrong. I'm not supporting this. I'm not thrilled about it. It's just like, okay, so it just feels like everything is a la carte now. Like, I'm only upset if they're like, this is a $200 collector's edition, but now it's still $200, and you have to buy the game on top of it. Like if it's a $200 collector's edition that they're just charging $140 or $150 for, and then I buy the game separate, and then boom, I've got the whole thing. Like I don't really, like. I get why people are upset. I really do, but like practically, it doesn't make that much of a difference, does it? Can somebody tell me where I'm wrong there?
It shouldn't hurt to just include a code. If they were like, hey, we're trying to reduce costs, we had to think of plastic and a case. What, they want a steel book too? Why they're so greedy? I get that. But if you just put in a code, what's the harm? It's just a piece of paper. Then those people really shouldn't bitch. You spent like $400 because I think the one that I remember was the Forza with the leather jacket. Remember that? It was like a leather Forza racing jacket. Really, really fancy. And it came with all this other shit, but no game. So it's like, let's put it in the pocket. It's like, oh, what's this in my pocket? Oh, look at this. It's a code. Oh, the standard version. Whatever. It's all right. I got the fancy jacket.
Yeah. But it's like, you're right. It's like, at least include the code, you know?
Yeah, just a code. Fine. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there's that. PlayStations. And now let's get into some fun. Chris, Xbox, financial news. If you dare.
Financial.
Was it? You know, back in the day, if you used to say Xbox and another word, your console would have activated and started giving you things.
Oh, wait, can I ask the Connect for the financials? Hey, Connect, how you doing?
Connect financials.
Connect financials.
No, it was they changed. It was what's her name? Katrina, remember? Whatever her name is.
Cortana.
There you go. It was
Cortana.
I like Cortana.
Off the shelf Cortana.
No, Katrina. That was the storm. The storm. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, they changed her.
Cortana's looking at Adam right now. Who's Katrina?
What? Right?
Motherfucker, you cheating on me?
I'm deleting. Wait,
Who the fuck?
Wait, how many Chivos do you have? Oh, 0? Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Or anyway, Chris, go on.
Katrina.
Well, I appreciate Carlos sending me this link to this dude, Derek Strickland. He
Derek Strickland's the man. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. Well, he read into this. So I finally, while you were talking about PS5, on page 92 of their 10K filing, I finally found this number that he's using to make this chart. That's how deep it's buried. That's why I was like, where the fuck is he getting these numbers? So I finally found it. But okay, so I'll read the summary. And in their press release that they give to shareholders for their quarterly, they filed gaming revenue under more personal computing. They said overall personal computing revenue decreased $556 million or 4%. But in terms of gaming revenue, they said gaming revenue increased $36 million or 1%, driven by growth in content and services, offset in part by a decline in Xbox hardware. I know Xbox hardware, they said revenue decreased 13%, driven by lower volume of consoles sold. So they've had consecutive quarters so far of Xbox hardware being down, like sales dropping. That's probably why they fought so hard for Activision. They have to you have to turn that around. And how do you turn that around? You need software to turn that around. So, but I think the last report, their hardware was down 30% from the previous year. And now it's on 13%. So it's just falling, right? But here's the interesting thing. So overall, with the 5% increase in revenue driven by Game Pass and whatever, but then you have this drop in hardware. So I think you're at a net negative value. Let me double check that. I think it might be overall down 1% or 3%. And the value that I get from the 10K and on this chart by Derek Strickland. So for this fiscal year, their revenue for gaming is $15.47 billion, and that's down from the previous year. It was $16.22 billion last year, and the year before that, it was $15.37 billion. So up until and he has it plotted from fiscal year 2015 to 2022, they had a constant increase in gaming revenue. I think 2017 was the outlier. Well, it was a small dip, and then it kept growing. So they had consistent growth from 2018 to 2022. This is the first year that they're down from their growth, and it's the console sales have been falling. Like I said, this whole year, every quarter they report, console sales are down. And even with their increased revenue from Game Pass, and I don't know if that's just attributed to new subscribers or content purchases. They're not specific, and they don't give out subscriber numbers, so I have no idea. But overall, they need to the health of this is that overall the revenue is down. So there, you can understand why they fought so hard for Activision, why they need to really focus on getting the studios aligned and getting good content out. And they've had misses too, which I don't think they can afford any more Redfalls, right? Yeah. You can't afford to have studios whiffing like that. And the thing is, looking at what came out with the game expo over the Jeff Keighley's thing and the announcements there, I don't really have high hopes in the near term for the software. I look at Fable or whatever, I'm like, and then even purchasing Activision, once that is all ironed out, which is going to take a while still, right? And then putting all those things under Xbox's umbrella, how do you leverage that into revenue generation and then subscribers to Game Pass? What do you put Overwatch and World of Warcraft on Game Pass? Do you port it to the Xbox? I don't know how in the short term, without new titles, I don't know how you leverage that immediately. That's like a 4 or 5 year down the road. Like, okay, we can leverage that into new IPs or a sequel to something or whatever. But in the near term, it's not really helpful. But they will, whatever Activision sales, they will start collecting that revenue. But in terms of new IPs and new content generation, I don't see that panning out. So they need to do something. I mean, I think it says here, the decrease in revenues was driven by a reduction of $325 million in content services and $409 million reduction in hardware. So that's a substantial amount of money, right? And then I would have to look at these trends when the fiscal year officially ends and see like how the whole year pans out. But so I can't say right now, it's like, okay, this is down this year, so what happens fiscal year 2024 and so on? I don't know. It's not good that this is the first year downturn, and it could be a hiccup because, like I said, in 2017 they had a small dip and then it started going back up. Could they have that again? Sure, but I don't have other things to look at other than software to see like, okay, is that driving sales? And it's not driving console sales. It's driving subscriptions, I guess, or there's less subscribers, but there's more content purchases through Game Pass. And of course they increased the price and then they got rid of gold. They rolled it into Game Pass. So there can be some, there can be some fancy math going on there in the future for that stuff. But overall, they're on a little shaky ground. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, but what's happening is kind of what we predicted, It's like, yes, the subscriptions are going up, but the console sales are going down. I don't know, man.
Because you don't need a console.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. You don't need a console.
Here's and am I the only one here who's of the opinion that like Microsoft hasn't really, played? We're starting to see games. We're seeing games announced, and we're just at the front of, the wave of them dropping. Like, I kind of feel like they haven't played their hand yet. Like, I that's kind of just what I would expect, even in an optimistic stance. Like, yeah, you guys haven't really fucking done anything. There's been a whole lot of talk about doing something. Kind of tried to say that you're doing something, and he gave us Redfall and didn't do anything. So, like, we're still at the point where, like, any minute now, we're gonna do something. Are you having a good time? No, nobody's done anything yet. We're just anticipating them doing things. I can't be having a good time. Nothing has fucking happened yet. So like, I'm kind of in the mindset of like, yeah, they can't be financially successful because they haven't fucking done anything.
Right. And I don't want anyone to conflate Xbox and Microsoft. I'm not saying Microsoft is doing badly. Microsoft is a juggernaut. If you look at the pie chart of revenue generation, just from the standpoint of cloud and enterprise and office products, it dwarfs everything else in the company, right? So they're fine. And in terms of Xbox, yes, they can. I mean, they can shore up Xbox easily. Like even with revenue loss and stuff, all that's going to do is like if console sales keep dropping, like Adam said, they're just going to say, "Hey, you could just play all your games on the cloud." They can leverage Azure, and they can leverage third-party stuff. They can make deals with Valve, and Xbox app on the Steam Deck, and put it elsewhere. And they could do that. They could get out of hardware and still keep the Xbox brand and still offer Game Pass, still offer all these things.
I mean, they could make an incentive. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm just furious because like there's no reason to own an Xbox right now. The same way there's no reason to own a PlayStation 5 for the most part because we haven't gotten next-gen titles yet. It's literally a product without a purpose as it stands. You could try releasing next-gen games. Just saying.
Well, not just next-gen games, but you need worthwhile exclusives for people to get into. Sony and Nintendo have these things, right? They have their exclusive content you can only play on their platforms, right? Sony has Spider-Man 2 coming out. That's highly anticipated. That's only going to be available on PlayStation, right? What does Xbox have? They had Redfall. That was a fail. They have Halo. Halo has dropped off. Like Halo.
They have Starfield, but it's not out yet.
And Starfield's up and coming, and we'll see how that does, right? But I would say, like, you look at the hype for the games that have come out in this first half of this year, Resident Evil 4 and Zelda and all that stuff. Like, there's big hype for that. I don't see that for Starfield. I see it for Spider-Man. I don't see it for Starfield. So I'm a little concerned that what they showed for Starfield so far has not impressed enough people. And I'm surprised they haven't put forth more kind of marketing.
I told you.
Yeah, they haven't. They really haven't.
Yeah, well, Starfield's a slow burn, you guys. Starfield's the evergreen title. They don't want to run like. I think what they're doing is they're kind of being quiet about Starfield because it's always going to be there. It's going to be like Skyrim, where it's just kind of pushing in the background. Don't advertise too much when you only have Starfield. Let Starfield quietly kind of be a cult favorite for a while there, and just kind of be the long burn. So then when you do come out with things, you'll be like, we got all kinds of stuff with Starfield too. Like, people know it's coming out. If you're excited for it, you're gonna get it anywhere.
Any evergreen title has to start strong. It can't start weak. Like, there's been outliers of that, like something like Rainbow Six Siege, which started off weak, and then Ubisoft made changes, and then it started increasing in sales, and then kept consistent content going. There's outliers, but usually evergreen titles start strong. Like, those first 90 days are crucial to not only your sales numbers, but your prospectus, right? And then after that, if you have consistent sales and then you are offering consistent content, you can keep people engaged and then sell. I don't know what they're going to sell through it. I don't know if there's microtransactions or whatever, but if you can sell DLC and whatever through that and keep engagement up, that is worthwhile. But that does not look as good as those first 30 days and then the first 90 days of sales. Those are key metrics. You can't have it flop in the beginning and then maybe start building slowly. That doesn't look good.
I don't necessarily think of it as a flop. Like, I think that they're trying to build it so that it has its own legs. I mean, granted, like, a great big advertising campaign would be, I guess, preferable, but like, where do we even see these advertisements? Like, I don't know about you. Like, it may be being advertised all over I've seen some advertisements here and there, but like,
they literally had a 30-minute showcase. How is that not advertisement?
Well, in terms of like commercials and shit. Like I don't know. I can't say that they haven't had commercials because I don't know where. I don't watch commercials anymore.
Well, I was about to say, like, who even watches TV anymore?
They would probably see it through like YouTube commercials, those type of things.
I
do.
I don't mean that marketing.
Yeah, TV, man.
You got really?
Is watching the footy ball.
Yeah,
I gotta watch the sports.
I do. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but I'm and not just for that crowd. You definitely want to hit, legacy media and all that stuff. You want advertising in sports and stuff. But I'm talking about. I'm surprised Microsoft hasn't reached out like some of these other guys that get influencers and stuff and be like, hey, start talking about this and giving them media material and all. That kind of stuff.
They can just make up their own influencers now. You guys heard of AI influencers, right?
My God,
make some of those.
Yeah, my favorite one, AI 74318. He's the best one. He's the best.
Well, man, I will mention this. Skyrim did have a significant advertisement presence because those commercials were everywhere. Ooh, remember?
Yeah, no, I remember, but that was also a time when people still watched TV.
I mean, I've actually seen Starfield commercials that like it would look like this little like vignette of a dude delivering a package. Like the weird thing was it was all in Spanish. Like I watched some weird TV. But like it was all in Spanish, and like it was mostly signed as a guy delivering a package, and like seeing some Space Marines and being like, yeah, and then he's a little montage of him like flying a ship, like signing up, and then flying a ship, and then standing on top of like a balcony watching somebody else get off a ship, and he's like looks on his face like, yeah, I want to fly a ship again. And he goes down and gets in a ship and flies off, and it's all like Starfield. It seems like a stupid fucking ad. Like it seems like one of those like.
Sounds like No Man's Sky.
Yeah. It just kind of feels like, are you sad with your delivery boy lifestyle? Well, fly a spaceship, and you're like, that's the fucking point of the game. Like, are you really trying to sell me the idea of fly a spaceship and do stuff?
That's Futurama.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a premise I could have arrived at on my own. You didn't really need to spell it out. In fact, you kind of putting it out there like that has some weird kind of cringy, like U.S. military recruitment video kind of vibes, which I'm not sure is like, you nailed what you were going for. I just don't know why you wanted to go for that, but sure, I guess. Also, you're in Spanish, so.
Telemundo.
Like that's a Telemundo commercial.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
El Starfield.
Yes.
Oh man.
I mean, cool, good for them. I've seen more of that commercial than anything else. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think a lot of it is like these games come out once a decade, and the world changes around them. Like we don't advertise the way that we did when Skyrim was around. That world just doesn't exist. Gone.
I don't know. The Call of Duty ones, when those drop, man, they'll run that commercial into the ground. Get ready.
Yeah, but where?
It's coming. This one hasn't come out. The last one did. For 2.
I mean, I guarantee you they have the commercials made, but like, there's not a unified audience to show them to anymore, which is the weird problem.
I showed it during sport games. That's the way we got to see the other one. Remember, it was during Super Bowl and all that.
Oh, I would be shocked if there weren't like a Starfield ad for during Super Bowl or something like that. I'd be shocked if there weren't some kind of Xbox.
Well, I mean, the Super Bowl is in February.
Starfield coming out in September.
Yeah, but it again, evergreen title. They're just going to advertise the fuck out of it for years as kind of like, come to the service that has Starfield.
I don't see the ROI. The Super Bowl ads are way too expensive.
Yeah, no, they're not going to like that. Game's already too old by then.
Yeah.
Game Pass, sure, but not Starfield.
It won't be a Starfield ad. Like I don't think that we're going to see a ton of advertisement on Starfield. I think we're going to see a ton of advertisement for like Game Pass and whatnot being propped up by Starfield. I think that's the big difference.
Yeah,
especially as for every new game that comes out for a while, it'll be like it's on Game Pass along with Starfield. Like you'll see Starfield hovering in the background of like product images or things like that for like Game Pass, with like they have like an Xbox, like a spread of games, like a big game in the front. They're like, they got this game, and then a little Starfield image is hanging out in the background, just like, remember me? I'm still on that service. it's gonna be sickening. They're gonna get their money's worth on that one, and I don't blame them. But like, I would be surprised. I'm already a little surprised that they don't have it smeared everywhere about how they've got Skyrim for free on the spot. Like you want to play Skyrim? It's here. Just come on over. Just play some Skyrim. See what everybody's talking about. Like, but again, Skyrim has been just played into the fucking dirt. So, but I would be surprised if we didn't see mentions of Starfield or snapshots or whatnots for 2 years. Easy. Starfield or Skyrim lasted a decade. How long do you think they're going to milk Starfield for?
Yeah, if it's good.
Starfield Skyrim.
They just have to hope. They just have to hope they don't have a Fallout 76 slow start. That killed it. That slow start. All the problems with NPCs. Don't worry. Use your imagination. No.
Oh my god. There's no amount of talking up. And Adam saw it firsthand when I was like, no, the game is good now. It feels like a real game. And everyone's like,
Brett's lying again.
Fallout. And I'm like,
why does he keep lying at me? I told Tony, why do you have this fucking liar on all the time? He's like, oh, you gotta trust him sometime. And then he was right. Yo,
on that note, I got to talk about Remnant today. Oh.
Yo, I got something for this shit. Oh. What happened with Remnant? I thought it was on Game Pass. It's only PC Game Pass.
All right, let's pull it back a little bit. What the fuck you guys talking about?
It's a video game.
Remnant from the Ashes 2.
Remnant 2.
Okay. 2, the new one.
Remnant from the Ashes just dropped. And holy shit, I have not seen a sleeper hit of this caliber this entire fucking shit. This shit came out of nowhere. For those of you who don't know, this game's gonna be fucking big. It's gonna be one of those.
It's like Gun Souls.
Okay.
I'm
adding it to the show notes now. Tell us about this Remnant 2 then.
Okay. Like Remnant 2. Remnant was one of those games that started with an idea. What if Dark Souls but guns? And it was pretty good. It did a fair job of that. Now, there are some people who are going to send me death threats. They're already packing anthrax into an envelope.
It was hard.
I love anthrax. Great thrash band. Anyway,
So, like, there are people who went hard on the game, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. And it had some really cool procedurally generated stuff, and it really played into this idea of there's a multiverse, but not the Marvel multiverse, like a Guillermo del Toro kind of multiverse, full of weird shit. The kind of thing when you're like, oh yeah, if there's a billion worlds, you just leap through one of them into a portal and like come out the other side. Hey, you're gonna land in some weird shit. And that's kind of the premise of this game. You're living in a post-apocalyptic Earth, and you hear about a group who basically is like the Institute from Fallout. And so you get there, and you find out they're doing some stuff with this world-hopping crystal. Like, it's sitting in a storeroom, they kick it on, and it abducts somebody. And so you're like, well, fuck, here I go. And you leap through the crystal. And at that point, everything just goes weirdly sideways. Like, if I sound confused about this game, it's because I've genuinely not played a video game that I had to approach. Like I don't know how to categorize this game. It's everything I've ever played, plus nothing I've ever played, like nothing I've ever played before. So let me kind of throw the experience at you. It is partially procedurally generated in that it has parts of stories, but then it pulls those parts of stories together and in an order that makes it fully your own. Like I'm kind of convinced there's different worlds. Well, obviously there's different worlds, but it decides like, here's your basic world and here's some of the stories. So like, here's what happened. I decided I was going to try 3 classes. Started my main, got FOMO, wanted to try a couple of different ones. My first one, I step out and I make a challenger. Guy who's big shotgun, has a sword, right? Like, this is kind of getting some Destiny vibes, but like if Destiny were actually good, sorry, you know what I mean, and you know it's fucking true. So like, it is, dude, it is slapping. Unreal Engine 5 looks absolutely gorgeous. The gunplay solid, feels good. Again, Adam, like, you need to play this game. You, as a lover of Divinity.
I have I played the first one. I have it on Steam Deck, and
oh my god,
and I was excited for 2, but then I was like, where is it? I can't find it on Game Pass. I'm like, oh, it's PC Game Pass.
Yeah, no, it is out. Like, this is definitely an Adam game. But so here's the weird part. I drop out into a crazy fucking jungle full of all kinds of like old temples and shit, like fucking like the puzzle jungle. I fall into fucking puzzle jungle where I'm doing some Temple of Doom, fucking reading ancient scripts, trying to figure out stuff. And like I get to this one puzzle and I'm like, this is a for real puzzle. This is not a God of War puzzle where they're like, I don't know, maybe I put the water in the bucket. Like, this is genuinely Legacy of Kain levels of fucking puzzle solving.
Uncharted 4 had the puzzle bucket. Remember, you had to fill it up with water, and then you had to do the weight to try to get the thing to turn. It was
okay, but no. See, that's the thing. These puzzles were like I haven't had these muscles tested in my brain for so long that it was actually a little weird to get back. Like, because normally I'm like, okay, so where's the 2 switches, or where's the symbols that I connect, or something like all of the classic bullshit that every game does when they do a quote unquote puzzle. And here, the game fucking brings some, like I said, like some Legacy of Kain level shit where they're like, oh no, you need to understand and interpret the shit that's around you, and then you need to flip a switch somewhere to start the mechanism, and then you need to play the fucking song, and to do this other thing, and like, it was a lot. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna step back. There's a handler class. Handler's got a dog. I want to try that class. So the first one I had dropped into Puzzle Jungle. Walk out, fucking crazy Narnia looking world. There's a pan covered in these growths, like these kind of tree looking growths. And he tells me a story about how for long the pan tended to things growing and green, and how a long time ago there was an eternal wolf and an eternal deer that chased each other and upheld the balance. But then someone came along and killed the wolf, and the wolf was offered immortality from this corruption. It came back, and the world has been thrown out of balance since then. I need to go and hunt this eternally corrupted wolf and put him down to return balance to the world. Okay, so I go out, I do all that shit. Turns out, in the end, not only is this kind of one of these multiple choice, like your choice affects the consequence of the game, but it's more choices than you even understand how to process. Like I got there and like there's a choice of like, do you heal the deer or kill the deer? I'm like, oh, okay, binary choice, life or death. And there's implications, but also you could just straight up shoot the wolf, and that does a completely different thing. Like, if you heal the deer, it stands up, stabs the wolf, and fucking books it. If you kill the deer, it fucking dies. If you shoot the wolf, the deer stays there, you fight the wolf, the deer eats the wolf halfway through the battle, and learns a new move. If you start the fight by shooting the wolf, but then shoot the deer before the wolf can gorge on the deer to learn his new power, you get a special item drop. There's 4 different fucking solutions to this. 2 of them are just refusing to play the solutions that they've handed to you. Like, I don't even know, like, okay, I had started another world of that because you can re-roll the world to adventure, right? Went into the same world, and I was now greeted with the red throne and the immortal queen of the pan telling me that a corruptor beast had come out of nowhere and corrupted their god, a golem of many faces, and I needed to go put it down. And during my talk with that, she got all kinds of fucking lippy. I got lippy back, and apparently she sent her guards on me, whom I then killed, and she said, good job, that was all a test. And I said, I don't fucking believe you. And she said, go kill the many-faced god. So I did, and I came back. She demanded I kneel. I said, fuck it, knelt, and I got a ring. Apparently there's 6 different things in there that I could have done differently. I could have not fought her. I could have fought her more. Apparently, if I'd lost the fight to the guards, I would have woken up in a prison somewhere. Like, this is a level of not having any idea what the fuck is happening or what the fuck is going to happen that makes Dark Souls fucking envious. You just don't know what you're going to trigger. the amount of content in this game, absolutely baffling. So I step out from the jungle and I'm like, let's start a new world. Start a new world with dog handler. Have a dog, have a long gun. Feels very Last of Us, right? I'm thrown into a fucking high gothic castle fantasy world filled with fae whose wings are made of light, who I then get to a throne room and meet with the three fae in charge, and one of them had betrayed the other ones, and I had to then suss out who the betrayer was between the three of them. So the first one, I'm hunting an elder beast. Now I'm doing some dinner party whodunit kind of fucking shit. And then the third game that I jumped in to try out another class after I got the secret class from Summoner by sitting around waiting for blood moons. That's a whole different thing. I jumped in and I was on a weird Dune-esque future dystopian dead planet talking to a contained AI who seemed like it wanted to get out. It was the AI for the entire planet, but the world had died, and I was waking it up after 10,000 years. Felt very Prometheus. Right?
It sounds overwhelming. This is stressing me out. He's stressing
Dude,
me
I
out.
don't understand what's happening. This all
is
happened
too much.
in the game.
I'm nervous.
This all happened insane. This was all the first level on
can't do
3
it.
different characters.
I rage quit.
Yeah.
Right? Like I did the one character first level,
Where's my
that
feet,
hand
though?
stuff.
Where's my feet?
I did the second level, or I did another character first level. I'm in a high gothic architecture fighting light fairies. Third character first level. I'm in this Dunescape. None of this makes sense. It is wildly, everything is fucking everywhere. The game cannot be categorized. It is not sci-fi. It is not fantasy. It is not shooter. It is not melee. It is all of these things and none of these things. And there is so much content here. Cody, I'm about to blow your mind. Literally, according to the developer, literally nobody has seen all of the content in this game. Not the hardcores, not the people with over 400 hours of playtime, not the playtesters, not the developers. Not a single living soul has been able to experience all of the generated content in period. Not just in one playthrough, but ever. Nobody has ever completed this game, Tony.
Yeah,
it is your nightmare.
Yeah,
you're talking about the first one.
Yeah,
the first one.
Just the way you described it, I'm like, yep, that absolutely not for me. You know,
Dude,
that sounds like an absolute mess
trouble.
of a game.
Dude, I'm having trouble, and like I like big weird experiences, but this almost pushes the bar. Like this kind of feels like the only way I can explain it is they nailed what they were going for. In that you've got a gun, you've got a portal that throws you somewhere in the multiverse, and when you land there, you're going to deal with some shit. And most of the time, it's not somebody being like, oh, hey, what's up? They're just like, who the fuck are you? And where the fuck did you come from? It becomes its own, like, Star Trek kind of, like, sliders, quantum gate kind of fucking, like, thing where you just literally, like, I got my shotgun, I'm going to leap in, and I don't know where I'm going to end up. I might be fighting Hellspawn with my shotgun, or I might be, you know, in a sci-fi universe. It was very like it was super weird having like a torn jean jacket, a trucker cap, a bolt action rifle, and a German Shepherd fighting hordes of fae in high gothic architecture. Like the disjointedness of it was super weird, but also kind of fucking beautiful. And the fact that the game shifts so much, it's never the same thing. You're going to have same story points, but no playthrough is ever going to be the same. So I can't even tell you technically what the game is about or what you'd be playing, other than you strap on for some really well-made gunplay and jump through worlds that admit they're going to throw some different shit at you. And immediately off the bat, dude, like this is some of the best bosses I've ever seen, hands down. I have not seen boss mechanics this engaging and original in fucking ever. There was one boss I fought who shot Mandus. You couldn't look at the not your character couldn't be facing, but your camera could not be facing the boss for too long. Otherwise, you would go insane. I fought another one that it was literally a giant room filled with stone cubes running through a labyrinth that would crush you if you didn't blow out the sides and then hide in the craters created in the sides of the giant stone cubes. So you blow out the side and then duck in the crater, and you make your way through the labyrinth, destroying all of these stone cubes because they are the boss. It's almost like an unrecognizable alien thing. And then I got this super dope gun that's made entirely out of metal cubes that shoots 5 of its cubes like an SMG, and when they hit something, they then come back, reemerge as part of the gun, and are able to be fired again. So it's somewhere between an SMG with infinite ammo and a long-range slow chainsaw. It's fucking awesome. I got a gun that shoots discs that look like a pizza and bounce off walls up to 8 targets. The game just gets fucking wacky with it. Nothing is off limits. Everything is weird. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm like, I don't know, I'm going to jump in here. Apparently I'm murdering elves in a castle now. If you can't tell, it has psychologically broken me in the last couple days that I've been playing. I'm just like, I don't know where I am or what's going on. This game is so confusing, and almost the only way to approach it, because, like, again, the puzzles and kind of shit, like, they throw in the face of everything that you know about video games, quote unquote. It makes you really question, like, do you need, like, just the way that it works. Like, don't assume things. Read every item. Like, if you can talk to a boss or change something in the game, it may change something that sets off a whole new quest line. It defies you to act like you've never seen a video game before and play that way. Kind of like the same way it is when you try D&D and you can't use video game rules. But at the same time, the skill ceiling for it is high enough that you have to have played your share of video games to be able to withstand the learning curve and just utter torment that this game will throw at you. So it's a kind of intense experience that you have to experience like it's your first time. I don't know who this game is made for, but the people who do dive into it, like myself, there's so much, but it is the possibly single weirdest game I have ever played. Just from, like, the whole, like, the way that you're feeling right now, that's how I feel. Like, what's going on? I don't know. I don't. Everything is weird. There is no reality. I don't know if I'm what part of the game I'm playing or what game I'm playing. I do know I got a cool new gun, and I'm going to dive back in and go murder hoboing again. I do know that I'm enjoying the hell out of myself, and that there's kind of an emergent story, but I don't know what's my story and what's the main story, and I guess that really doesn't matter. It crafts an experience, which I guess is what it's setting out to do. I'm used to being like, okay, this is the procedurally generated content. I can put that in that box. Here's the main story. I can put that in that box. And here's the side content, side stories, or side quests, and I can put that in that box. This game, like, I don't know what is what. I don't know what's my story. I don't know what's everybody's story. I don't know what's just randomly generated. I don't know what's part of a side story. All I know is the experience that I'm having. And I can't help but feel that's probably supposed to be the way that it is. I'm just having trouble letting go of my preconceptions of what a video game is and how I'm supposed to approach it. And that just makes me just kind of reel back on my heels. I'm like, am I really having a game make me ask and try and figure out and understand how I approach and react to video games? Because, like, that's some art shit right there. That's the kind of thing that usually that doesn't happen a lot in video games, and you can tell I'm not used to it happening to me. Last time BioShock did that, but, like, I just really don't know what to make of this thing other than it's glorious.
It's not on Game Pass. I looked at it said it was going to be on Game Pass.
PC Game Pass, right?
Here's the deal.
It's not on that either. I looked. It's not there either. So
you guys want to? I encourage everybody to support these guys. These are the guys that said, we're not making a physical game, right? We're not making a physical disc. That's going to save us money. And so we're going to charge $10 less for it. So the game is $50. Not because it's a AA game, not because it can't be, but because they decided not to turn it into a $70 game and then go the other direction and take money off. Like, I don't know who the fuck does that. Who leaves money on the table? Who gives you free shit anymore? the fact that I've delivered a fully realized AAA game that why did you guys not take more of my money? It just this is some CD Projekt Red shit right here, man. I can't encourage enough. Like, check this out. Buy this game.
Well, also, if they want to, it was smart strategy there for them to do that, just because of Diablo 4. Also within this window, a lot of people still sinking in hours into that.
Oh, I have seen so many people be pulled out of Diablo for this game, because like, not only does it have all the same build crafting stuff, like you got your special abilities coming off your main class, and then you got your weapons that and all your rings and your amulets and all that shit. But then you get a second class. So like I'm gonna be a guy with a sword that goes in and kicks people in the face. And then I hit level 10 and I'm like, and I'm also gonna be the guy with the dog. So now me and a German Shepherd just run in and punch people in the face. It's the most hilarious shit ever. But yeah, you could be 2 classes. That you can cross class. That just makes me happy. So like the things that they decided to do in this game, and then the level that they went into them. Like when they did dog in this game, this is the first game I've seen that I realized this has ruined dogs for me in every other game. Because this isn't like the dog runs up and does kind of like this barking animation, sits halfway down, and then bites something. The dogs in this game are like a German Shepherd biting a guy in a bite suit. Like, you'll be shooting and the dog will just come flying out of left field and just fucking like bite slam somebody and just go take it off the other side. Like, I've never seen a more realistic dog, and it made me actually realize having a German Shepherd to fight with you is kind of fucking hilarious. Just to watch it run up and just body slam and take down fools, and it does serious damage. Like, it does damage like an angry German Shepherd would do. It's not like, oh no, there's 10 points of damage. It's like, oh dude, that dog just fucked that guy up. It's great. So everything they do, they seem to have been like, we're going to do this to the best of our ability. I can't say that, like, it definitely, I'm sure, has some rough edges. I say that, but no more than God of War in my experience. But like, I'm sure this is not everybody's cup of tea. But it has enough awesome there that I cannot recommend it enough. This thing came out of nowhere for me, and it is lighting up a lot of people's lists. This will not win any giant awards, but this will be a lot of people's game of the year.
Nice. All right, let's move on here. Talk about weird shit. So the ESRB is proposing using facial recognition to verify your age. I mean, let me read this. This is from a GameSpot. The Entertainment Rating Board, ESRB, has asked our good friends at the FTC for approval to use facial scanning technology to help determine how old a user is. Using something called privacy protective facial estimation, a person's age would be estimated based on live scan to verify they are old enough to pass an age gate through, though it would not determine who the specific person is. I'm sorry. This just sounds like a way to fucking surveil people. Kids don't play fucking video games anymore.
Oh, bullshit. They're going to keep this anonymous.
Yeah, no. You know, Chris, I got to read this part. This is what they claim, you know. First and foremost, this application is not to authorize the use of this technology with children, full stop, nor does this software take and store selfies of users or attempt to confirm the identity of users. Bullshit.
Shit. Yeah.
I call bullshit on that.
You know? Let them release this, and then a year down the road go, oh, there's this giant server that has all this pictures and screenshots of people using the authorization app. It's like, who could have guessed that? Don't let this pass. This is bullshit. They're going to use AI facial recognition. They're just going to surveil you. They know when you're playing the game. They know who you are. Right, and that facial recognition, guaranteed they have another database to know all your information, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's what. This. Manny, why are you playing a Tool video? Anyway, so yeah, I call bullshit. Again, kids don't play games anymore. They watch games on fucking Twitch. You know, Ninja and these kind of guys. You know, it's just to get more information on us. That's all this shit is, man. You know. So bullshit, Mr. Davis.
Sorry, I was just no reason.
You're good.
But like why are we getting into this like where it has to check who's playing the game? In other words, you're looking to have to essentially take away all accountability from parents, and then what happens when this shit fucks up?
Which it will. But the thing is, here's my question: how is this gonna happen? Like, or is it gonna say? Is every game gonna come with a fucking webcam now? Like,
no, that's
how do they
and
confirm
then
that
the
you don't
other
know?
thing,
They don't
and the
know.
other
They don't
thing,
know.
and the other thing, and this comes from what got YouTube in big trouble is because they were surveilling children,
yeah,
what they like,
yeah,
right? So officially, this would be illegal under the current laws of the United States. So if the ESRB wanted to do this, they'd probably have, and they end up doing it. They're pretty much breaking the law.
I don't know,
Because
man, but this sounds
they're
fishy
still
as fuck.
because the key point is that they're collecting data on children, and you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, it says the ESRB wants to partner with a digital identity firm called Yoti. Okay, bro. This sounds super fucking shady, man.
Yeah.
It sounds shady as hell.
Yeah.
ESRB just looking to be relevant.
I love it. The proposal claims the technology is more reliable than other methods of parent verification. It's not about kids, man. It's about to surveil you.
Yeah.
These,
Well, it's more.
these people already.
It's more.
Yeah, go ahead.
It more has to do with money than anything. It's really these guys sold them something and they want to get something out of it. Really, I think the ESRB in general they're a bunch of idiots, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like they don't know it. Like if they knew anything, number one, that's like having a film company, like a movie, look at everybody in the crowd to make sure that they're old enough to be watching a rated R movie, even though it's parental guidance suggested.
Look at this. Okay, so this is how it works. It says the user takes a photo of themselves. The system then checks if there's a live human face in the frame. The image is then uploaded to Yoti's backend server for estimation.
Nope, don't do it.
Yeah, uploaded somewhere.
Uploaded, yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, and they're going to get rid of it.
Yeah, they're crazy. Yeah,
No,
we're gonna
and
get
then you're
rid
gonna
of
have.
it. Yeah, sure you
Yeah,
are.
and then also then a bunch of people's data leaks. Really, no.
Here it is.
Sorry.
Images are immediately permanently deleted and not used by Yoti for training purposes. Fuck that.
Yeah. That means you're using it for training purposes, right? When you say that shit, we're totally not keeping your pictures, and we're totally not training AI with it. Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, Chris, it gets better. Okay. To the extent that there is any risk, it is easily outweighed by the benefits of consumers of business. So there is risk. Obviously, they're admitting it. Man, yeah. Again, man, like, you remember when, like, we used to actually care about being surveilled and shit? Like, now it's like we're just taking selfies and fucking cameras everywhere, and nobody gives a fuck,
Yeah, the biggest thing that anybody does these days is essentially just compromising themselves, constantly posting photos of themselves all over the goddamn internet.
All the new features of phones, what are they? They're just more cameras. My camera has like 17. My phone has like 17 cameras on the back of this shit. I only need one. I only need one.
A fucking kid, 12-year-old. I want to play Call of Duty. Give the phone to his brother. Take a picture real quick.
Yeah, I mean, and shit like TikTok, where essentially kids are all obsessed with that, like doing videos of themselves and posting it to TikTok.
My sister's kids do that shit, man. I'm like, what is going on here?
Thing about it is, how thing about it is like how dangerous is all that shit.
Very dangerous.
Like, come on, man.
They're crazy.
They need to get themselves together.
Yeah. All right, moving on here. Speaking about more scary shit. So the voice actress of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the one in London, right? Somebody took her voice, used AI, and they narrated everybody in Skyrim using her voice without her permission. Ain't they that nice?
They did that. They did that with what's his face too? The guy who plays the guy from not Cyberpunk. What's the other one? Deus Ex. That guy.
Yeah. Oh, Adam Jensen, dude.
they did it to him too.
Yeah, so it is just some asshole who did it, So imagine like because the companies obviously want to do this,
Yeah, companies do want to do this,
and that's going to be something with I mean, that's already part of the reason the actors are on strike. It's like like contracts now say shit like will be able to use your voice in perpetuity, which means AI.
Yeah, their voice and your likeness in perpetuity. At least for a lot of the contracts they were saying for the for the Screen Actors Guild is for extras and other people. They all have scanning things in their contracts where they have to be scanned, so that they can use their likeness. It's like, no, you should be like, number one, even if it is an image of you, you still should have control over your likeness rights. That's the way big actors do it. So if these images or voices, unique images or voices are important, then they should be paying for that stuff. They should continue to pay for it, regardless. But that's what all of them are fighting for right now.
Yeah, can't blame them. But yeah, expect more of this to happen. But it's going to happen in an official capacity eventually. Like
well, I mean, it already has.
Fucking,
it has.
Yeah, it has.
It already has happened in an official capacity. Darth Vader wasn't played by James Earl Jones.
Yeah,
he was a.
That's right.
He was, and so was Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker had his face AI. What was it? Deep faked or AI? Replicated, and his voice was replicated, and he signed that contract.
Yeah, that's it, man. Shit is crazy. All right, another thing here. It's being about acquisitions. The company we're not talking about, Tencent.
Oh yes,
the
other evil empire.
Yeah, they've acquired a majority share of Techland, who owns Dying Light. So there you go. No one's talking about them. Where's the FTC at?
There you go. Yeah, see,
where they at? Where they at?
Yeah,
nobody did it. Sony's not pitching them about it, so they're not going to go after them.
Where is the FGC and all of that? Literally, a bunch of companies have connections to the Chinese government.
Yep. They are a Chinese fucking company, so which means they're part of the Chinese government.
Yes, because in order to have a in order to have a presence in China, the Chinese government needs to own a portion of your company. Hence why certain companies, had to bend a knee to a certain country. Just saying.
That's why you can't say Taiwan is a country, which it is, by the way. Taiwan's a country.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, man. So yeah, Tencent gobbling up the gaming industry, and no one's talking about that. We're all worried about Microsoft, right? We're worried about Microsoft. Meanwhile, Tencent's buying up all these fucking companies, and you guys ain't saying shit about it.
And then that's why I said it before. It was like Bobby Cody said it in court when they were like, "Oh, so it's only Microsoft. There's no other." He's like, "No, there's another one." Tencent showed interest, and they just brushed over it. And it's like, no, look, these guys, they're hunting.
Yeah, of course.
You can't upset your Chinese overlords.
Yeah. And by the way, Tencent's doing exactly what Microsoft's getting accused of. What everybody said Microsoft's doing. Oh, Microsoft's eating all these companies. No, Microsoft got approached for this sale, right? Activision approached them. Tencent is approaching everyone, trying to get a piece of every... and then get a seat at the table with many other studios, right? Yeah. They have the money to do it.
They literally are the octopus spreading its fucking.
Yes, they are the octopus. Yes.
Go ahead.
Didn't Tencent just take over majority stock of somebody by buying actual stock?
Oh, they did a hostile takeover. I don't know.
Hostile takeover. Yeah. I mean, isn't that kind of what happened in this case?
No, hostile takeover is when the company doesn't agree to sell, so the company that wants to own them just buys stock in them until they're the majority owner.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying, isn't that what happened in this case? They bought the majority shares of Techland.
Oh, I thought you meant the Microsoft.
No, I'm talking about Tencent.
No, Tencent. Yeah, that's what happened here.
Yeah, they literally just did that. It's like, okay, we're going to buy all your shares, majority.
It's what Vivendi was trying to do with Ubisoft.
Yeah.
They were trying to do exactly this, but they weren't successful.
This bullshit statement. I can't stand these fucking corporate statements, man. So full of shit. Teaming up with Tencent will allow us to move full-headed. Whatever, bro. Whatever. You just got bought by the fucking communists, man. Remember, there was a time in America we fought these fucking people. You know what? Let me not get into it.
We already saw Oppenheimer. We don't need to go back.
Yeah, fucking bullshit, man. Anyway, let's end things off on some funny news.
Michael Jackson still alive.
No.
That's not funny.
Yeah, and Manny, I'm glad you got product placement there.
It's terrifying for children.
Xbox is releasing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles inspired controllers that smell like pizza.
But they're not. That's the downside. I would be all over this, like, fucking sauce on pizza. But listen, you have to like win it. You have to sign up on their Twitter or their official site. Sign up and
win it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't buy one. I would love to have one of those. It's a little button that you press and it like scents. It's like one of those center things that you get like for the bathroom. And
what's that shit gonna smell like in 5 years?
It's gonna
still smell like pizza, dude.
Like old cheese.
Smells like penicillin.
It smell like feet. Yeah.
But yeah, I wish. That'd be great. It's gonna be a good collector's item, man.
Didn't Xbox come out with a PlayStation? Xbox come out with an Xbox that had like a shredder popping out of it.
Did they?
Like a while ago.
I don't know.
I don't remember
They
that.
had some sort of funky Xbox. Yeah.
Adam, you don't know, man. I thought you had I thought you owned like 3 of them.
He needs to own all the Xboxes.
I know the Xbox. I don't know. I definitely wanted that Ninja Turtle one. When I saw it, I'm like, "Where's the pre-order button?" I don't see a pre-order. And then I'm reading. I'm like,
"Oh, you got to win it." So, Adam, you got to try your luck, man.
I'm never gonna win shit. If anything, I want to win Lotto. I don't want to win a fucking thing.
Oh yeah, that Lotto.
Yeah, wasn't the
Lotto
Powerball
right
like
now
pumping right now? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty high right now.
Was it
that money?
The one that $1 billion one in California, and after taxes, it's like $250 million.
Yep, that's how it is.
What?
That's still a lot of money.
Oh, maybe is that California? Oh,
Yeah,
California.
That's California, but still a lot of money.
Yeah, $250 million, you'll be set, man.
yeah, you'll still be set.
I wonder if they say you can't move away from the.
Don't you dare move. We'll take the rest of your money.
Before he cashes in, he could move out of state and then cash in. So I don't know if he's going to do that just to avoid those taxes.
Yeah. By the way, if anybody listening to this right now, anybody from the cast, anybody from the chat, if you win the Lotto, number 1, hook Throwdown Brothers up. Number 2, take all the money in one go. Don't do the installment
lump sum
thing. Lump sum.
Yeah, take the lump sum. Yeah.
And
also,
number 3,
also make sure to have a don't put your name on television. Have your representative hire a representative who is able to do the.
What was it? Remember that?
Yeah, right. You'll be coming to your house.
No, some states require that you show your face, but there was one where the guy put on the screen mask, and you see with the check, you can look it up online. He put on a screen mask. He did not want to show his face.
That's crazy. Damn.
I mean, nowadays people don't question if you wear a mask in public anymore. Yeah. So what you know what I mean? Just wear your mask. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, try to win the lottery. Try to win one of these Xbox pizza controllers.
Pizza, dude.
Whoa.
This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this eventually, at some point, will be on the market. They could say, "Hey, for a limited time," they'll pull that bullshit for like Christmas. It's depending on the demand. I think there will be a demand though. And did you hear this freaking movie? This mutant movie already got approved for a sequel and another TV show. So I sent them a message. I'm like, "Where's Emilio Lopez? Is he part of this?" And they just said, but they're gonna look you up and they're gonna put you in it. Hopefully, work on that.
No, that's each era has its own. Each era has its own teams and stuff like that. I'm okay with my iteration. I don't need to work on more of it. But funny that I have. I've worked on multiple things turtle related over the years. But yeah, no, it's all good.
that ship has sailed. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for us. Good show. Let us plug some things. Manny, you could go first.
Yes. So if you notice my background over here on the right, I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 Ultimate Collection. It is every single episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003, the show that I worked on for a good. I mean, this started like 20 years ago, so it's a 20-year-old show. So I worked on a bunch more. I started my career in animation there as an intern, and I ended off as a character designer / character and prop color designer, background painter. So I did a lot of stuff on this. Has everything from the TV movie that we did at the end to every single episode. This has never happened, even when I was still working there. We never got to put everything onto DVD. So, or videotape back in the day, because that was early 2000s, and we were doing videotapes and DVDs. But yeah, so that's out right now. You can get it on Amazon, and it's also got a bit of a discount right now. So it's I think 10% or a little bit more off. So if you enjoy some turtles, you can go buy some turtles. You can go get that. So yeah. One thing I was thinking of doing for fun, like essentially taking maybe the Turtles Forever movie and doing like a watch along audio commentary. That's actually something that we wanted to do on the team years and years ago before the franchise was sold to Nickelodeon. So maybe I'll put a little something together. I'll do like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sort of thing, and then we could all watch it together, and I can tell you some little hidden secrets about the Ninja Turtles cartoon. One thing, you guys who bought it, who are sort of fans of the show, if you notice that there's an episode missing and the numbering doesn't make any sense to you, it's the reasoning why is because there was one episode that we never aired that got cut, and as well as a season, but we kept our original numbering. So you'll see some of the numbers and the things skip around. It's not you're missing anything. It's complete. It's just we cut. It's just we did. It's something we did years ago.
Do you have the season? Do you have the season? Does anyone have it, or is it just
no? The original season 7 was canceled like while it was being produced. But the way we always did those things is that even if an episode was cut or whatever, and we still did some production on it, budget went toward it, we still kept the same numbering. So those
people must be mad because if you think about it, it's like 1 year.
Oh no, yeah, there was quite a bit of people that saw like, hey, why is episode 110 not on here? Episode 110's not on there because we never actually put it on air. It was so controversial for standards and practices that we just decided, we're just gonna cut this. So yeah, it's one of the episodes.
I think you told me about some of the.
Yeah, I saw a video on the episode. That sounds crazy.
Like, do it.
The episode.
It was Baxter Stockman, right, Manny? Like
no, not the Baxter Stockman episode is on there. That got on there.
Okay,
but the other one is where there's this character called Hun who's like one of the villains, and there's another villain called the Garbage Man, right? And he's like half a person. Anyway, you find out in this episode that they were conjoined twins, and he goes to this skeevy scientist to essentially, operate on him to get it off. So yeah, I posted. If you go onto my Twitter, I posted some of the old character designs from the episode. By the way, as opposed to what the popular belief is on that episode, there was animation done. There was a first take for it, but we just never finished the episode. So there's footage, just never any sort of completion on it. So there you go.
That's wild, man. It's wild.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Wild stuff.
Yeah. Adam.
Really nothing. I mean, we got the I Am Negan. We finished the Walking Dead City. That's all done, all 6 episodes. So myself, Rich Bailey Jr., and Carlos, we did a rundown of that. So if anyone wants to find out if it was worth watching, if they just want to skip watching it altogether and just hear it. But it got approved for a 2nd season, so that's good, right? And then we'll be back in a few weeks because that's when The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, the worst title for any show.
Daryl Dixon.
That was so bad. They couldn't come up with anything, so it was like, oh, we're just going to call this Daryl. Pretty bad.
Yeah, they should have just called it Daryl and that's it,
Yeah, or
Daryl.
Or the Euro Tour or something. I don't know. Do something with it because it's just there you go. Yeah. So yeah, but if you want to catch up, it's I Am Negan over on YouTube, Spotify, Coalition, of course.
Coalition.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. And also, I will keep plugging this. Go buy Video Game of the Year by Jordan Miner. I am featured in this book, a physical book, my words in a physical book. I'm not just an online writer anymore. Very proud of this. So make sure you buy the book. and yeah, you're supporting me. Like you're going, Tony, you're a writer now. I'm a real writer now. I'm in a book, motherfuckers. You know,
Yeah,
so
man, you
very happy
real.
about it. Yeah.
You worked at PC Gamer.
No, I
And
didn't.
PC
No, I worked at PC Mag, where Jordan is from. I never worked at PC Gamer, even though they work with us now. But no, I never worked at PC Gamer.
When I worked at Yellow Rat Bastard and I had my first interview get posted, I remember the editor shook my hand. He was like, "You did it. You're published now." I'm like, "What do you mean published?" He's like,
Yeah,
"That's
man, published.
once you get your words out there and it's official.
Yeah,
that's all you need."
Yeah, actually, I got to be careful what I say here, but apparently, some of my reviews are being published in like some British magazines that my company posts. I was never told about this.
There
you know.
Go. See?
Yeah, so I technically have been a published author for like probably 2 years now, and didn't even realize it. You know, so pretty cool stuff. So if an EMP falls, my words are in physical media. You know what I'm saying? Because I've just been an online writer. So yeah, Video Game of the Year, Jordan Miner, go check that out. And also coming up on Sunday will be another episode of Throwdown Interviews. Manny and I hung out with Khalif Adams from Spawn on Me. That was one of the best fucking episodes we've ever done. That was great.
It was a really great one, really great one.
Yeah.
I think we went a little bit over on time.
Oh yeah.
Man,
I kind of knew that was going to happen, like because we wanted the show to just be an hour, but it's like this Khalif, you already know what's going to go down. We've known this guy for 10 years, so
yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in there, man. Like it was really good to again to sort of catch up with him because we kind of like talk online and stuff like that. But we don't really like talk. Talk is real talk.
Yeah, exactly. So that was good. Yeah. Again, I love how the conversation kind of just went in a whole other direction. Like, this is great. Keep it going. So
to be honest, I was hoping that you were recording the first part of that.
The first part was real too.
The first part was real too.
The first part was really real.
I mean, I feel like we went on for like 30 minutes right before the show.
No, it was 15, but it was a deep conversation.
It was a deep conversation.
I mean, I'm pretty. I don't know if it's not game related, but I think the fans would probably have liked it, but.
Yeah,
it was good stuff. It was good stuff. So that's on. The episode's already like edited. It's already ready to go. I got to get the MP3 version of the previous episode with Jordan Miner, and then this one to you guys. And I just talked to him now. Our boy Sean Daly. He is going to be the guy. All the time you hear the Throwdown music, it is Sean Daly who did that for us. Hit him up. We will have a new song for this, so that'll be cool.
Yeah,
So yeah,
good
man.
Stuff.
And he is still asking for very reasonable rates. Which is nice.
He's the coolest guy, man. And also, shout outs to Rachel for finding him.
Yep.
She was who found Sean and got him to do our original Throwdown, and then we contacted him later to do Throwdown Your Questions. So it's really nice to continue to work with him to do these cool intros for y'all.
Yeah. So shout out to Sean Daly. So we will have a new song. So that episode was fantastic. It was great stuff. That is it for Throwdown. And another, slow week didn't happen. I'm glad Brett went on a rant about Remnant. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had anything to talk about this week, good stuff. Anyway, make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. You could also find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. That's 2 words, Throwdown Show. Throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. And if you have been watching us on YouTube and enjoyed our videos, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when our premieres go live. Yes, the Throwdown interviews are also premieres as well. We're not there live, but we may be hanging out in the chat talking stuff, so go check that out. And links to everything down below in the comment section. So once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
And Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
All right, you already know, man. Later.
Peace.
Deuces.